Let's talk about 2025. For so many of us, that year just felt off, didn't it? It was like a year of nonstop turbulence, where the ground just seemed to be constantly shifting under our feet. So was it just a bad year? Cursed, maybe? Or was there something much, much bigger going on? Well, let's dive in and figure it out.
You know, it's funny, the whole feeling kind of kicked off with a viral meme. Remember this? The calendar. 2025 started on a Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, WTF. Now, it was just a joke, right? But it totally captured this widespread anxiety we were all feeling. And probably because the last time a year started just like that was 2020. So was it just a weird coincidence? Or did that simple meme tap into something much deeper?
And this quote from the AI crew just nails it. The meme wasn't some kind of prophecy. It was a reaction. It was a collective coping mechanism. See, the chaos we were all feeling was very real, and that silly joke was just our way of trying to process a deep, underlying fear about what was coming next.
Which brings us to the absolute core of this whole thing. 2025 wasn't cursed. It was what we're calling a reckoning year, a time when all these problems that had been simmering under the surface just finally, well, they exploded. The issues weren't new, not at all. They just became impossible to ignore. Think of it like this. A reckoning year is a moment of forced clarity. That slow burn of eroding trust, the economic pressure, the constant feeling of crisis, it all turned into a raging fire that demanded every bit of our attention.
I love this line. It's so true. 2025 was basically a diagnostic report for all of us, for society, and it revealed every single crack in the system. So, okay, let's take a look at the key findings from that report.
All right, first up in our diagnostic, the real, tangible hardship that defined 2025 for millions of people. This is the stuff that was happening far away from the glowing headlines about tech breakthroughs.
43 days. Just think about that. That's how long political gridlock in the U.S. managed to freeze essential services, and it sent absolute shockwaves through the country. This wasn't some abstract political fight on TV. It had immediate and devastating real-world consequences.
And here it is. Here's the human cost. Because of aggressive budget cuts and that shutdown, unemployment claims among federal workers just skyrocketed. A 36% increase in a single month. That's hundreds of thousands of families who lost their income practically overnight.
And this was all happening at once. It wasn't in a vacuum. You had aggressive tariffs making everything you bought more expensive. The job market was cooling down. And on top of it all, global instability from ongoing wars just added to this deep, deep sense of uncertainty and anxiety.
Now, all that external pressure, it had a very real internal impact. A report from AXA Global Healthcare found that Gen Z and millennials were getting hit the hardest, with record levels of mental health issues. I mean, they were dealing with digital burnout, career anxiety, and this profound political instability all at the same time. So this is what leads us to the central paradox of 2025. Because while so many people were experiencing real hardship, the headlines were telling a completely different story. It was a year of profound disconnect, a tale of two totally different realities. Just look at this comparison. It's wild. On one side, you have the lived reality for millions, shrinking wallets, frozen public services. And on the other, a booming stock market, completely supercharged by AI. This huge, growing gap between Wall Street and Main Street really defined the entire year.
And as if that wasn't enough, there was this relentless drumbeat of climate disasters. We're talking deadly wildfires in the U.S., a catastrophic hurricane in the Caribbean, and horrible floods in Southeast Asia. The physical world felt just as unstable as the economic one. Another loud, loud signal in our year of reckoning.
And yet, right in the middle of all that turmoil, humanity achieved something truly impossible. For the very first time, scientists used CRISPR technology to cure a baby's genetic blindness. I mean, what a monumental breakthrough. A moment of pure, defiant hope happening right alongside all the chaos.
This paradox, this strange contrast, it extended to culture too. The Chinese animated film Ni Jia 2 completely shattered box office records. It became the first non-English film ever to earn over $2 billion globally. That's a massive shift in global culture, happening even as political tensions were rising.
So you have to ask, how did people respond to this year of crisis? Well, this is where the story pivots, moving from problems to action. Because people didn't just sit back and endure the reckoning. They fought back, with activism, with resilience, and with some absolutely incredible innovation.
The labor movement, for one, had a landmark year. In response to all that economic strain, workers really fought back. Dock workers won a historic contract with a 60% wage increase. Starbucks workers went on strike in over 85 cities. And a pro-worker candidate, Zoran Mamdani, was elected mayor of New York City. Things were happening. And this spirit of resilience, it was global. The World Economic Forum's Innovation Prize highlighted these incredible grassroots projects. In Nigeria, they were turning plastic waste into school tuition. In Zimbabwe, using aquaponics to fight food insecurity. In India and South Africa, technology was being used to directly empower marginalized communities, not just for stock market gains.
This quote from UN Goodwill Ambassador Jaha Dukure just captures the spirit of 2025's human response perfectly. Hope wasn't this passive thing you just wished for. It was an active, driving force. It was a radical decision to build a better future, just like we saw in those amazing projects from around the world. So, where did all of this leave us? The diagnostic report was in, the human response had begun. You could say the feedback loop was officially open. The whispers had become shouts, and there was just no going back.
And this is such a powerful metaphor for the entire year. The hardship of 2025 wasn't just random pain. It was the jolt of realizing the old systems were failing. It was that really uncomfortable moment we all realized we had to learn to pedal for ourselves.
And that leaves us with the final question, doesn't it? 2025 wasn't an end, it was a beginning. It showed us the problem, sure, but crucially, it also showed us our incredible capacity for resilience. The training wheels are off. So, what now?